So let's rank all the films I watched for the first time for the month of March 2024. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D. Back with another ranking. Today, I'm going to be ranking all films I watched for the first time from March 2024. So this will be consisting of 22 films and what have you. So, and some of these I have reviewed, and some I am planning to review later on this month. Anyway, this is kind of gonna be my house of surprises, and then again may not. You just decide. So if you're ready, let's start this ranking, and I will be going real easy on this since this will be first times, okay? But I go quicker with the rewatches. So if you're ready, sit back, relax, and here we go. Coming in at number 22 is Children of the Corn from last year. Now, of course, this was actually produced in 2020 during that, of course, was a time the pandemic struck. And, well, you found this film in some theaters and on Shudder. Well, this film recently came to Hulu. And I thought, what the hell, give it a watch. So I've seen just about every one of these films and why, except for maybe one of them, but I could be wrong though. Yeah, because Revelation's the only one I've yet to watch. Now, I am going to do a review of this later in the month, but don't expect much from it. This film's factually okay in a way, but it's not that great though. I still would stick with the first one or maybe a few of its sequels because the sequels can be here more missed than hit and what have you. But this one, sorry, it doesn't quite come close to my match. I'll explain why when I review of it when I review it. And coming in at number 21 is Dan's Flick from 2009. This is a parody of a lot of these numerous films like Save the Last Dance. I was going to review that, but failed to. But I'll make up for that sometime. And the Step Up films, Hairspray, and and I think High School Musical too. I think. But anyway, yeah. But I only seen this once. This isn't supposed to be a big comeback for the Wayans brothers after they left Scary Movie, but this one just doesn't come through for him and what have you. And it is directed by Wayans, but a different one though. I won't be reviewing this though yet. Maybe another day I will. Probably maybe next year when I do more bad movies and what have you. Dance Flick is okay. I think I'd rather stick with Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2 over this though. And coming in at number 20 is Firehouse Dog from 2007. Now, I've been avoiding this film for some time, but since I found it on Hulu, I said maybe just this once I'll watch it. It's okay, but again, not great though. I do think Josh Hutcherson was pretty good in it. Some of the cast was pretty good, but it had a little bit of unexpected. I didn't like, but if I happen to revisit this, if I decide to, mind you, maybe I'll review it. Don't expect me to review this film though yet, because there are much better canine flicks out there over this. I'd rather go over this one though. So Firehouse Dog, yeah, okay film. And coming in at number 19 is Spaceman. This is the new Adam Sandler flick that recently came to Netflix. I watched it. It was okay, but again, not great. Sometimes I don't care very much for Adam Sandler's dramas and what have you. Well, Uncut Gems was good though. This one just didn't quite hit on for me and what have you. So again, it was okay. Check out my review down the me reviews video I did with this one. Okay. Next, coming in at number 18 is The Stepdaughter. Now, this is a new Tubi original. I've only rarely looked into some of Tubi's originals, and well, I found since I figured this was from the same group that gave us the Stepmother films for Tubi, I thought I'd give the dice roll and give it a shot. And oh, it's factually an okay film in my view. It's just not great though. I think some of these films are just hit or miss and why have you and why have you. But still, it's fair enough because I like it being suspenseful and what have you, though. So the stepdaughter's okay. I doubt I would ever review any to be original. I never have. Not even the Terror Train remake. Who knew? Next, coming in at number 17 is Lisa Frankenstein, which came out earlier this year, but it bombed at the box office in my view. It just more recently came to Peacock, and I watched it when it premiered on there. Yeah, now this film's is factually a fun little film. I do like its acing, why have you, and Catherine Newton's good at it. But I'll tell you more about this when I review it. Cole Sprouse, I'd say he was good as well. I just had some issues with this film. That's why it's so low. But of the whole, Lisa Frankenstein's well, not too bad, but it's just not great though in my book and what have you. Next, coming in at number 16 is Knock Knock from 2015. Now, this film is sort of a remake of an old film from the 70s and what have you. It stars Keanu Reeves as this man who's staying at home while the rest of his family's away, but apparently gets two unexpected visitors and what have you, really cause seriousness. This film was done by Eli Roth, the same guy who gave us Cabin Fever and Hostel. Well, I'm gonna say it was good in Wiley, but it was really strange and what have you, and really freaky. Well, I'd say that might be more freakier than what I could get from other films of this kind. But this was kind of just more than what I could get from Cabin Fever or even Hostel. Heck, which are the only few Eli Roth films I've seen. I haven't yet seen any other works of his, including The Green Inferno. Oh well, Knock Knock, it wasn't too bad. Keanu Reeves was good though. The two girls, they were absolutely crazy and what have you. Next, at number 15 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind from 2004. Now, I've been having thoughts about seeing this film, but this stars Jim Carrey along with Kate Winslet and let's see, Kirsten Dunst is in this. Elijah Wood, Mark Ruffalo, and Tom Wilkinson. Yeah, this film's kind of strange though, but this is not too, not quite too bad. What have you? Like I said, a strange little film and what have you. Maybe sometime I will revisit this film and then review it. I'm not sure if I would want to review it right now after watching it for the first time last month. I do it for most films, but I'm not sure about this film. I need to rewatch it though. But I did like the performance we got from Jim Carrey and some of the others. Like I said, this was a pretty darn strange film. Next at number 14 is The Equalizer 2 from 2018. While this was the weakest of the franchise. After watching its predecessor a month prior, I finally got to see this one. I was worried about that I couldn't find it anywhere, but if it hadn't been for Hulu, I wouldn't have gone to see this and then follow up with recent hit sequel from last year, which we'll see where that winds up in a little while. But anyway, Equalizer 2. Well, I'm gonna say it has its moments and what have you. Denzel Washington is still pretty good though, but this film does have some issues and what have you. And I do think its final confrontation act is pretty good. Excuse me. But I'll talk more about when I review this film. Anyway, The Equalizer 2, it's not as good as the first one though, but it still has its moments though, definitely. And coming in at number 13 is The Little Prince from 1974. Now, I remember this character. I used to watch the Adventures of the Little Prince animated series that came out from, I think, Japan, I think. that Nickelodeon era back in the 80s. And when I found out there were some movies, since I failed to see the animated film Netflix gave to us, from which Paramount was originally supposed to give to us, well, I never could find it. But when I saw this was on air, I thought, what the hey, I'd check it out. It was directed by Stanley Donen, who also directed the original Bedazzled, which I'm mostly familiar with, but a lot of other films like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and he was co-director of Singing in the Rain. But anyway, The Little Prince, it's a nice little film. Maybe one day I will review this film. It's got some pretty good music. Little boy who plays the titular character was good. It's got Gene Wilder in it. That was really good. So anyway, I think this is a nice little film. I was happy to have seen it. Next, coming in at number 12 is Insidious from 2010. Yeah, now, since the last film had been on Netflix for a few months now, but I have yet to see any of the other films. And well, this was the only film I could find on there aside from the latest one. Well, it was pretty frightening and what have you, pretty eerie and scary and what have you. I think James Wan did an excellent job on this film. I'll try and find the other sequels sometime down the road, and then I'll watch them and watch The Red Door. And mind you, I might review those later this year for this year's annual Spooktacular October. Now, I will still probably make the Red Door a spoiler-free review, even though it'll be over a year since it came out. Okay, we'll see what happens. The cast in this is pretty good, but like I said, the scares were pretty eerie and frightening and what have you. It was pretty spine tingling and what have you. So Insidious was pretty good. And coming in at number 11 is Poor Things from last year. Now, this came on Hulu recently, since they had more recently. Now, since they had recently gotten the rights to premiere recent films from 20th Century and Searchlight, this Academy Award nominated film was kind of strange and odd and what have you. I included this in a mini reviews vid. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out. Just look up for Poor Things on my channel and you'll find it. Like I said, a strange little film, but Emma Stone was very good in this. Don't get me wrong, but I really liked her performance, and everyone else was pretty good. Willem Dafoe's character was kind of wow, yeah. But anyway, Poor Things, strange film, but still pretty entertaining in some ways, though. Definitely. And now for the top 10, coming in at number 10 is The Equalizer 3, also from last year. Now, this I think was probably the best of the three. Um, Denzel Washington, once again, great. Um, Antoine Fuqua did a great job on the direction. Why have you? This film ended up being a little intense and why have you. As much as I thought the first two were pretty good, but this one overtakes them. So I have to give this film credit for what it had to offer, especially in the action department and what have you. I think it was just so good. And I say this is the best Equalizer film of them all. And a good way to end this trilogy, of course. And coming in at number 9 is Irish Wish. Now, this is a new film that came to Netflix starring Lindsay Lohan. I think she did an exceptionally good job on this film. This was just so fun and what have you. I did a spoiler free review of this. I'm glad y'all have enjoyed it. It got lots of views than I had anticipated. But very good though. The cast wasn't too bad either, and the story was pretty good. But I liked the stings and what have you in the atmosphere. It was just so good. Check out my spoiler free review if you haven't. Once again, another great film for Lohan and Netflix. Who knows what she'll do next for them. Next, coming in at number 8 is Roadhouse 2024. This is a brand new modern day telling of the classic from 1989, which we'll see where that winds up in a little while. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a pretty good performance. Rest of the cast isn't too bad either. I mean, this almost came close to as good as the original, just that it's not really a factual remake. It's just kind of considered to be a new modern retelling of it, except it involves a UFC fighter. So anyway, I think that was pretty good. Check out my spoiler-free review of it if you have yet to see it. Yet see it, okay? And coming in at number 7 is Damsel. Now this is a new Netflix film with Millie Bobby Brown from the Enola Holmes films and Stranger Things. I want to say I don't care what anybody says. This film was pretty good and what have you. I think it did, but it does have some issues though. It still has some pretty good um a pretty good atmosphere though, and well, it's hard to explain, but I did include this in a mini review vid, which I believe I did that along with Spaceman. I'm pretty sure. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. But anyway, this film I feel like it's kind of underrated, but it has its issues. But nevertheless, I thought it was pretty good though. So check it out in the mini reviews vid if you haven't. In one of those mini reviews vids I did last month, if you haven't seen it yet. Next at number 6 is The Holdovers from last year. Now, this Academy Award nominated film I thought turned out to be a little more good than I had thought it was going to be. Paul Giamatti really was very good and what have you. I like the 70s setting of the film. And what else can I say? I think it was just fine. I did include this in a mini reviews vid. I did along with Poor Things and Priscilla, also from last year, which I watched a month prior. But anyway, The Holdovers is very good. I don't care what you think, but this film got good reviews. And I gotta say, I gave it a good review, and I thought it was just so good and what have you. It's going to be, it is still on Peacock for now, but at the end of the month, it'll be sent to Prime Video. So if you got Prime Video, you can check it out there. Unless you got it on physical media, in which case, good. Anyway, I also liked the setting for it being the 70s and being around the, the Christmas season, what have you. So yeah, The Holdovers, it's pretty good. Next, coming in at number 5 is the original Roadhouse from 1989. This is a very underrated film, but a great one though. I like Patrick Swayze's performance in this. Uh, Everyone in this film was absolutely pretty good. Sam Elliott was good. Kelly Lynch was good. I'm just gonna say I think this film had everything it had to offer. I really like this over the new version because this has now become a great film in my opinion, what have you. So, well, Patrick Swayze was still around. He'd know that I've really come to like this film and what have you. So anyway, this film is just so awesome and what have you. If you've not seen it yet, check it out. Check out my spoiler-free review of it if you haven't. And coming in at number 4 is Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, at first I didn't know what to think of it, even after seeing its trailer, but even despite the absence of most of the cast, well, main characters and what have you, I still thought it was a pretty good sequel overall. I mean, while despite it may have characters gone, most notably the Fearless Five, I'm gonna say it's still pretty good. We got most of the cast back. Jack Black was good. He and Kyle Gass as Tenacious D really did one hell of a cover of Baby One More Time at the end credits. I just thought that was so awesome. Some of the characters weren't too bad and what have you, but of the whole, I thought it's not too bad of a film. I thought it was pretty awesome. Check out my spoiler free review if you haven't. It did pretty well. I'm very glad y'all enjoyed that. Next, coming in at number 3 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, this film was very good and what have you. I don't care what any of you people say, this film was awesome. I mean, I know it's got a big cast and what have you, but and it goes from one thing to another. But I didn't care. I thought I had a lot of fun to offer. But yeah, it was just such a cool blast from start to finish. The whole cast is good in Miami, especially with the return of the original characters, most of them anyway. But anyway, check out my spoiler-free review of this film if you haven't. It's not too bad of a film. I had a lot of fun with. And this was a tough decision to make because we got two great action-packed films, the little sci-fi feel and the top two and what have you. So I hope you're ready because this is going to be a big one. So coming in at number two is Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Now, this film really surprised me. I thought it was awesome. I like this almost as much as the last film and what have you. So I'm going to say this is a very good way to continue the MonsterVerse and what have you. We got some characters from the recent film, plus Godzilla and Kong back. I like some of the old and new kaiju monsters we got to see in this. Overall, I thought this film was awesome. Check out my spoiler-free review of it if you haven't. It's been doing pretty well, so I'm glad y'all have been enjoying that as much as I did. I have. Well, I think I referred to the movie, not the review. You know what I'm saying? And if that's number two, then what's number one? I will tell you. My number one first time watch of March 2024 is Dune Part 2. Oh, wow. I'm glad that they managed to give us this film, and this film's already so far become the biggest film of the year so far here in America, and I'm gonna say they are enjoying it. It's doing so well in my view. Timothy Chalamet is once again good. Everyone else is good. Zendaya is good. Uh, the list goes on. This film has a big all-star cast, of course, just like the previous film. And I'm gonna say it was awesome. I know it was kind of a shame to know how the ending went, but I say since this film's doing so well, I got a feeling we'll get a third one real well sooner or later. Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway, Doom Part Two was awesome. It was action packed and it was so intense and what have you. I really enjoyed it for what it had to offer. See my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't. So anyway, that's my number one film of March 2025. My first time watch anyway. So what did you think? What did you think of this ranking? You can tell me what your number one first time watch of March 2025 2024. Excuse me, I'm getting a year ahead of myself. You can give me your top pick, your top three, or your top five. Leave them for me in the comment section below if you wish. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And next time, I'll be bringing to you my rewatches ranking, which will be a little more different than my other rewatch rankings. So anyway, if you like this, check out my reviews for the top three films, which I've already mentioned. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Doom Part 2. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, and the bottom left-hand corner is my review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. All reviews are spoiler-free, and the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.